Steve O'Reilly, new Dunstable Town manager. Welcome, my friend. How does it feel to be sitting here as the new Dunstable Town manager?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Obviously delighted to get the role, and I know what a privilege it is to be manager of this club, and yeah, really excited to get started.
Yeah, how's the last 24 hours, 48 hours been for you? Obviously, as soon as we knew that Joe was leaving, a number of people probably been in for the job. It's been a hectic 48 hours for yourself, mate. What's it been like?
It's been a whirlwind, yeah. My first kind of thoughts, obviously, when I got the call that I was offered it, accepted it straight away. Myself and the management team were really excited by this opportunity. And then it's going through the process of informing, obviously, Harpenden in terms of where I've been. So there's that side of things, and then really just starting to kind of action some of the list of things that we need to do.
Of course, obviously, first head coaching role. So you've been assistant at Harpenden. Must be looking forward to being a head coach. Does that come with added pressure? As it's your first time as a manager stepping up from the assistant role? It's never easy.
Yeah, I think you can do, but I think that the way that I operate is that I wanted to do the very best that I could for Harpenden when I was there, whether that was as a player or on the coaching staff there, and that won't change here. There'll be some different responsibilities, and there'll be certain things that I was doing in my previous role that I might now need to look to delegate, and there'll be other aspects which I'll obviously have to take on and lead myself. So yeah, there's no greater pressure really than just going out there and trying to win games for Dunstable Town, which is obviously where the focus will be.
What does a Steve O'Reilly Dunstable Town team look like? Obviously, every team has a different style of play. How do you like your football team to play?
Yeah, look, we're going to be, first and foremost, want us to be a winning team. That's going to be really important for us. I think that it's going to be attacking football. That's what I want us to see. But primarily, I want us to be a team that can handle all situations and all games. Right? You're never going to hear me complain about how an opposition are playing, or a pitch condition, or the weather, or anything like that. I want a team that's capable of winning any type of football game. What you'll certainly see, and it's one of the things that I said to the board when I kind of interviewed, was I think what's really important is that your first team is a representation of your club's values. So, it's going to be a hard-working team. You're going to see a lot of togetherness on the pitch. And the longer we go on, I think you'll start to see a real defined style. But very much from the start, you're going to see that hard-working aspect. That's what I was as a player. I want to see that for my teams. But yeah, it's going to be attacking football. It's going to be on the front foot. That's how I like my teams to play. So yeah, it should be entertaining.
What are some of a term we use quite a lot here. What's some of the non-negotiables that you would have as a manager now?
Yeah, I have three. So I have hard work, and that's not just 100% effort. That's like hard work on yourself and trying to improve. And I want that to see that from the coaching staff as well as the players. So are we developing? That's really important. Respect, and that goes across the board. That's for officials, that's for your supporters, that's for each other, that's for yourself in terms of your kind of preparation to go and perform. And then the final one's accountability. I think that's really important as well. We have to have the humility to understand that there's going to be mistakes and there's going to be a lot of lessons for us to learn along the way. But if we're accountable to that and accountable to each other, we'll look to address them. So yeah, hard work, respect, accountability, they're really core.
Steve, obviously when a new manager comes in as well, there's obviously questions about current players, squad players coming in. We're now going to go into a pre-season, which is vitally important for any manager. How does that now look for you as we head into this pre-season? Obviously you've had a squad here that you've inherited from last season. What's the process now? We're setting the squad from last year, but also putting your own stamp on it.
Yeah, of course. So look, I've kind of had the fortune to either coach some of the players that are here, or even play with some. I'm not that long retired, I don't think. So I've got a good view of quite a few of the players, and there's a good core group here. And I think that in terms of what we want to build, I think it's important that people understand what it is to play for Dunstable Town, and I think there's some good players here that can do that. We can't ignore the fact that we didn't win enough games last season to try and reach the objectives that we need to. So naturally, there's going to be some players who will move on, and that might be through their decision or their decisions that we might need to make, and we'll need to bring in some quality into the group as well. So that will happen, but I know there's enough quality in this group already that there's players that we want to work with. But it doesn't really matter necessarily whether it's a new manager coming in or not. There's always a general bit of attrition through pre-season. I think what's core is that we keep the players that are going to add quality to us, and then we're going to recruit the right characters that can help us achieve what we want to achieve.
How's the backroom staff shaping up? Is it something that you thought about? Are they in place already? I know the fans, I think fans will want to know. You're bringing a team with you?
I am, yeah. So assistant manager and first team coach are already in place. So Liam Dwyer's coming in as assistant manager. He's someone who's worked across the pyramid and in the professional game as a scout. I worked with him at Harpenden a couple of years ago as a coach. He's had some stints in managerial roles and some other coaching roles, so he'll come as assistant manager. Really great guy, excellent network in the game. And then Rob Swan is also coming over from Harpenden, so we work really closely together under Mickey Nathan over there. We would deliver the coaching sessions together, so we've got a really similar philosophy in terms of how we're going to play. So those guys are in. There'll be a couple of other positions that we want to fill as well. Goalkeeper coach I think is really important that we're going to look to bring in, and potentially another coach on top of that and a physio. So there's still a bit of work to do, but two really great pieces that are in place, and we're really an integral part of kind of what I was coming here to offer. Those guys are really, really important.
Obviously, Steve, making the playoffs with Harpenden as well, and you know how hard this league is. Like you say, you've played in it, you've coached in it, you've been assistant manager at Harpenden. What would be the aim for Dunstable Town next season? We all sit here as fans and go, oh, we'd love to win the league and get promoted, but realistically, what is the target for the next season, 2 seasons for you while you're here at Dunstable Town?
Yeah, I mean, to get the club promoted, right? And I think that I'm not hiding away from the fact that we've got a lot of work to do this off season because we didn't end up where we wanted to be at the end of this season. So there's clearly some work to do. But I want us to be up there challenging this season. I've got a lot of belief in terms of the players that we can bring in, the players that are already here, and our coaching team. I know what it takes, and I've been around that environment as a player and on the coaching staff. So we want to be challenging. There's no hiding away from that. But just saying it's not enough, right? And so there's probably going to be a dozen other teams in the league this season that are going to be looking at those top 5 places, and we all know what players have brought to the league, none more so than me, obviously, from last week. So, like I say, just saying it's not enough. We need to put the plan in place. We're working on that with the board already. I've got a clear idea in terms of my mind, the type of player that will be able to do that for us. As I've mentioned, I think some of those players are already in the building, so it's going to be using them to the best of our ability. But yeah, we want to be challenging this season now. Will we get it? That's the challenge for us, but I'm really confident that we're going to give it a really good go. And I think that, I think we're going to be there and pushing for it, absolutely.
Just finishing up, Steve, as well, if you had to give a message to the Dunstable Town fans as we now get set for a pre-season and your first full season as head coach of Dunstable Town, what would that message be? Yeah,
look, get behind the team. I think that this team is going to be something that they're really going to enjoy watching. I think try and meet with us on a personal basis. I think it's a really important part of non-league football, even more so than at the top level of the game, that there's that connection with the players and the supporters and the board and everyone really who's involved in the club. It isn't just going to be down to the players. It's not just going to be down to the management. It's going to be about us all pulling in the same direction. And I think that the more we know about each other and the relationships we build and the bonds that we create through that, the stronger we'll be. So look, come and support the team. Like I promise there'll be some exciting football. That's what I want us to bring. Support the lads.
Stevie, sounds good, mate. Very warm welcome to Dunstable Town, mate. And I know I speak for every Dunstable Town fan when we wish you nothing but success, my friend.
Thank you very much.
No worries.